I've got my body and my mind on the same page, and honey, happiness is all the rage. Hi, my name is Priscilla Ortiz, and welcome to Contemplate, Stimulate, Formulate. Yes, what does that mean? Contemplate, stimulate, formulate. To sit back and really think, exercise your mind with thought-provoking questions. Yes, that's exciting. Why? Because anytime we do anything that involves reflection or involves just anything that you're doing for yourself is always the most interesting and the most exciting thing you'll ever do. So let's get started. Okay, what questions do you ask yourself? Or maybe even, what questions are you afraid to ask yourself? Oh yes, there have been times in my life that I have sat on a certain question for years. Yes, years. Necessary questions that I needed to ask myself. Instead, I procrastinated and literally made it much more complicated than it had to be. What I came to realize is that I needed someone else to ask me the questions that I undoubtedly was avoiding and making pretend I didn't have the answer to, or that I didn't want to face or address. Now, these questions don't necessarily have to be about your bad habits or life-changing. What about the simple yet challenging ones like, what is your perfect day? What do you want your life to look like? Because that's the one that I sat on for years. As a life coach, having conversations that lead to insights are all reached by asking questions. Simple, challenging, and stimulating questions. That's the premises of coaching and why coaching is so effective. Fear is real, and so is denial. I needed someone to ask me the questions I wouldn't ask myself. Therefore, the purpose of this forum is to think about questions that you're unsure of answering, or maybe even that you don't want to answer. You will ask yourself, what am I truly doing? What exciting, interesting, succulent goals do I truly have? We all have something that we're working towards. But maybe there's something that's coming up for you, something that might be surfacing. Well, contemplation will stimulate that which is wanting to surface for you. When I do my workshops, these forums, conference calls, or coach my clients, I get to ask them questions that provoke thought for them. I want to share the power of sitting down, thinking, stimulating your true desires, then writing them down and getting focused. Contemplation brings on stimulation, forward movement, growing your mind. What I'd like to do is impress upon you the importance of stretching your mind and asking yourself the right questions. If not, what is compelled to happen is that you'll only hear the internal conversation in your mind. You know, that monkey chatter? What you really want to do, or what you want to be able to do, is ask yourself questions and also have others ask you questions too in order to propel you forward, pull you out of a certain space or a place in time. What I'd like to focus on in this edition of Goal Setting, aka the dreams with a timetable put into action. So together, let's find out what it truly takes to get connected to your desires, your goals, the succulent ones that stimulate you, the ones that send a chill up your spine. Now, don't think small, think big. For big results. I know, of course, we have to keep in mind that when you play big, you run into the possibilities of also failing big. And that's why many people shy away from setting goals and moving forward. Another important question to ask yourself is, am I prepared to do everything it takes to fail big? Am I prepared to do whatever it takes to play big? because that means that you could fail big. Even if you take strategic steps, planning and risk-taking and play big, you can still fail. Therefore, you have to be completely ready and totally open to failing. Not intended to scare you, yet prepare you to overcome the inevitable adversities and obstacles in your life, okay? And of course, we have to conquer them in order to get closer to our greatness, to what we really want, the journey of life to conquer self. What I'm going to talk about, or let's put it to you this way, what I'm talking about is very deep-seated stuff that is not necessary for me to get into. Just know that you will have to deal with your stuff. So be prepared when it rears its ugly head. And then let's just take it on, okay? This is the only life we have to live, so don't ignore the obvious. This is the only life you have to live, so go for it. No regrets. Instead, contentness, happiness, and satisfaction, which are the opposite of regrets. Mark Twain, he stated, 20 years from now, you will be more disappointed by the things that you didn't do than the ones that you do. And in speaking to you candidly, the more that you fail, the quicker you learn and the sooner you reach your point of satisfaction. In praise of failure, Sir James Dyson, he stated, instead of being punished for mistakes along the way, learn from them. I fail constantly, and I wouldn't have it in any other way. Aren't those awesome words to live by? And of course, we can't forget Edison's. I haven't failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that don't work. Love that. Okay, let's talk about setting a great, juicy, motivating goal. This could be a lot of fun if you embrace it, if you embrace what we're talking about. Quite honestly, there is nothing more interesting than looking inward. And I repeat, getting to know self. Now, let's say today is September 9th. 30 days from now, it'll be October 9th. So go ahead, take out a fresh sheet of paper and write at the top of the page today's date. Then write, my 30-day goal will be completed by October 9th, or whatever the date is. Now let's get clear on the goal that you want to reach. This big, sweet, juicy, lovable, appealing goal. Something that pumps you up, that generates drive for you to go for it. Your goal could be anything. It could be relationship, weight, health, generating money, reading more books, whatever is important to you and that's poking at you. No judgment, no criticism. It's about you. And it's what you need to address next in your life. It's what is coming up for you now. It's you looking in the mirror and knowing what you want to complete. I'm telling you this to impress upon you the value of what we're talking about. And I will provide you very simple steps towards achieving it so that you can embrace it and see things happen in your life. Okay? So now let's just get comfortable, and on a sheet of paper, think of one compelling, one dream that doesn't have a date yet. Something that makes you extremely excited. Think about it. It could be monetary, physical, exercising, or about changing the way you react to things. Whatever it is, it's your goal. Take a few minutes, get it down on paper. Doesn't have to be perfect. We'll get more specific and add feeling to it later, okay? We'll take those steps further. Take your time. It could be about figuring out what is stopping you or why I eat certain foods. And for homework, for instance, what we'll do, which is very powerful, we'll rewrite the goal in the present tense, the I am, okay? One thing that I've learned is that if you're writing a number, don't limit yourself on that number. Write the desired number with a plus, indicating that at least, and yet you're open to more. Write down, I am earning 150 plus a year, leaving the possibilities endless. The same applies to losing weight, the number of sales contracts you're generating. I'm going to run 10 plus miles a week. The plus does not have an end. And if you're excited and you want to run more than 10 miles, then there you have it. You definitely want to keep your potential always open. So when you're going to write this goal very specifically using a plus, next, get completely connected to the goal, totally connected. And what I mean is feel what you're going to feel after you have ran the 10 plus miles, after you have made the blank sales. Let's say, for instance, that you bypassed the desire to eat something in which is unhealthy for you. Feeling the feeling you feel desiring to eat the meal that suits you, is healthy for you, brings you closer to feeling better, that is natural, harmless, and nutritional. Even see yourself. How would I be acting? Can you imagine yourself walking up the steps, getting into the car? What scents do you smell? Can you feel the breeze while you're by the shore and the sand on your feet? Can you hear them calling your name from the podium as they present you the award? It must be as specific as possible, where you could see it happening. You see, visualization is one of the most powerful practices you can have. Sports figures swear by it. Visualization is everything. And again, once upon a time, I heard and understood the importance of visualization, but I didn't really understand how to visualize. And now that's a conversation for another time, or an exercise for another time, if you will. But for now, get connected to the goal and truly visualize yourself achieving it. You have to visualize yourself achieving it, like a movie, if you will. See yourself hitting the ball with the baseball bat, and then the action that you will take. Because when you're at that level, when you're an extremely high producer, you have already seen yourself there. Most people that have, for instance, most people that I have learned from, they all say, I have already been there before. And this practice is not just for the actors and the accomplished and the sports figures. It's part of the process of getting there, and it's a practice that you can use as well. I invite you to be powerful and visualize your goal. Will Smith, an excellent example. I admire him so much. He is a powerful manifester and achiever. Google his videos on YouTube. They're amazing. And what he claims is, all I do is the work. That's Will Smith. I write it down, see myself doing it, and all I do is the work every day, every day. And that brings me to an important point, another powerful question. Are you willing to do whatever it takes for as long as it takes? Are you willing to do the work for as long as it takes? Because that is where most people fall short in their goals. So what we're going to do is break down the goal into sizable pieces in order to take bite sizes. Okay, let's summarize a little. You're going to write your goals, being extremely specific. You're going to smell it, you're going to feel it, you're going to taste it. Then you're going to see yourself doing it. You're going to visualize it. What's going to happen is that every morning and every night, you're going to look at your goals. They might be on your book side, on your bedside. They might be on a vision board, or you might even have it on a recorder next to your bed. Okay, just to name a few. Whatever it is, but every morning and every night, You're going to read your goal out loud, and you're going to see yourself there. And I want you to get pumped about it. Put emotion into it. Envision yourself getting thinner, eating healthier, and see yourself wearing the clothes that you want to wear. Witness yourself taking an amazing vacation. Again, feeling the breeze, the sand on your feet, your skin absorbing the sun. Observe yourself living in the house of your dreams, driving up the driveway, putting the key in the doorknob, walking into the house, placing your bag down, walking into the kitchen, calling for your children, seeing your dog come and running to you. All of it. How about imagine yourself driving the sky blue Lexus CS 430 Pebble Beach edition with the silver leather interior and pulling up into your to your driveway. Make it happen. This is the type of goal setting we're proposing. Getting overly connected to your goal, that you already feel it happening, and being very specific. Specificity is very important. As you envision yourself as the next business tycoon, let's say, you must consider all the aspects of what the life of a tycoon is like. So be specific. For instance, to be specific in being who you want, not a dictator, but rather a leader. You have to keep all those things in mind because they could show up, and then you might, in a sense, attract something that you're not wanting. Know who you want to be, what you want to experience. Because if you say that you want to be an entrepreneur, let's say, write, think, speak of the type of entrepreneur. Because an entrepreneur is also known as a risk-taking businessman, and you have to be ready, prepared for what may come your way. Not to shy you away from the idea, more encouraging specificity to be in line with what it is that you want to experience with your long-term goal. This might be a conversation for another time, but I just want to impress upon you the importance of being incredibly specific, because if you say that you want to be this tycoon, well, you have to be very specific, because a tycoon could be taking some serious chances that you may not be prepared to handle. So again, just being very specific, okay? So go ahead and write out your goal on a daily basis. Write down in your journal all the actions that you took that day towards your goal. Note the wins that you've been taking, all the action steps. This way you can observe, you can acknowledge, you can be conscious of yourself getting closer to your goal, your purpose, your ambitions, your dreams, etc. You will be able to add up your positive forward movement. So if your goal is to lose 10 plus pounds in 1 month, you will be able to track the exercise you're doing, the amount of weight loss, and how you feel. This accumulates a success journal about your goal. And by 30 days, you'll be able to see it, feel it, touch it, taste it. And incrementally, it'll be assisting you in reaching the big, succulent goal. Now, realistically, the first 30 days might very well be, for instance, let's consider it the first stage. The bigger goal may take longer. It may take 3 months. And if it's a major goal, it could take up to 3 years. Building upon week by week, acknowledging and developing a thought process. And the law of attraction will start working in your interest. Focus on something and it will start happening. And in my experience, it starts to roll out and happen before you realize it's happening. It's very exciting. The energy that you will experience from the excitement should assist you in moving forward. Okay, time to start. Write your goal in present tense, okay? It is October 9th and I am, where are you? And I have just achieved, speak about, like for instance, speak with feeling about your goal and be excited. Okay? It may be the first stage of your major goal, or it may be the actual 30-day goal. Doesn't matter. Michelangelo, he said the greatest danger for most of us is not our aim. What did he say? The greatest danger for most of us is not that our aim is too high and we miss it, but rather that it's too low and we reach it. Okay? Keeping that in mind, big goals are attainable if you take them one small step at a time. Fear will keep you shooting low. Remove the fear element and know whatever you have done in the past, yesterday, means nothing. How do you feel today? Create your life today. Think about what you want today. Don't reduce your goal. Instead, increase your aim. There is evidence all around you that you are achieving what you have already set out to do. Michael Loge speaks of that, the law of attraction. Don't focus on the negative that keeps you from achieving your goal, because things come up that appear as though you're not really heading towards your dreams. Instead, sit in silence, get quiet, and you will notice that the evidence is everywhere, that you're moving forward and achieving what you want or what you're setting out to do. And the more you realize the evidence is there, the more you start performing at a high level. And before you know it, you're achieving these massive goals. Speaking from experience, negative self-talk can run you down. In a sense, we're capable of diminishing luster with negative self-talk. Stop, listen, and breathe. Take a deep breath, and you'll acquaint yourself with all the magnificence and possibilities, and you will start noticing, that person did respond to me. I did get a call back today with whatever activity that you're engaged in. Pay attention and look for the evidence, subtle and obvious, that will teach you and invigorate the spirit to achieve those huge, substantial goals. I respect Michael Loge and what he stands for, having a daily log and writing down your achievements and what's happening. Claiming your rock star parking space and coming into it. Speaking of abundance, being everywhere, and then being open to seeing it everywhere. Your eyes will be more inclined to see the abundance. And it will be your choice as to what type of abundance you see. Negative or positive, relevant or irrelevant. Abundance of land, water, bills, abundance of love, issues, offers, insults, compliments, crooks, kindness, beauty. You choose. Choose well. Get real specific with what you love and what you want, and be completely open to allowing them to happen. It's the little wins. Today, I ate 3 less bites off my plate. I ran an extra quarter of a mile. I walked from the furthest parking spot into work today. It may be bigger and better than you've ever done before. It's all about the law of sowing and reaping. That's Jim Rohn, the law of sowing and reaping. It takes patience to sow. At this point, I'm going to end it here. So until we meet again, I will leave you with these action steps. Take some time and write down your specific goal. Put a date on it. Get connected to your goal. Feel it, visualize, see it every day. Get a daily wins log together and jot down those 20, 30 things that represent the proof of you gaining steam and moving forward. My name is Priscilla Ortiz, and it really has been my pleasure to share these timeless treasures, and I look forward to working again together and achieving greatness. Thank you.